Oh boy. Here we go again.
Conservatives are intentionally pushing a false narrative about a new Netflix film that actually denounces the hypersexualization of young girls. And the reason why they're
Yeah, yes, because that's what all those scenes you're playing is doing, right? You know, and it's only conservatives, right? Not me, who's a liberal, and I don't like seeing that shit because I think it's morally reprehensible. But go on, it's only conservatives. It's just the conservatives making this shit up.
intentionally spread
By the way, you're the same type of people that bitch when women, adult women, are sexualized in movies, but now all of a sudden this is okay because it's happening with kids because colon question mark.
spreading disinformation about the film is because it's not a secret. They're trying to rile up QAnon conspiracy theorists.
No, they're not. All you have to, like the creepy guy I did a commentary on, like he fully admitted saying he got turned on by the movie. Fully admitted it. How can you tell me that this movie was not made for that type of demographic? Tell me how it's tell me how this movie is fighting against pedophilia.
Who are honestly an ever-growing presence within the Republican electorate. And so QAnon, for those of you who might not have been following this story,
I don't like Trump either. But I don't have TDS. But what is this? Trump reminds us. Cuties reminds us Trump sexualizes children. I really hope you have something to back that up, because that is, oh my goodness, you better have something to back that up, because I wouldn't want to be on the ass end of that lawsuit.
has this ridiculous conspiratorial ideology alleging that there is a cabal of satanic, or Satan worshipers who also happen to be pedophiles running a global sex.
I wouldn't say that they're satanic, because because to me that word is is meaningless. I would just say that they're gross motherfuckers that deserve to be buried under the prisons. The people who made this movie. No, I don't care if the director was a black lady. I really don't. I am allowed to criticize this, and I'm not a conservative for doing so.
Trafficking ring involving children. These pedophiles are also allegedly trying to plot against Trump. Now they're being provoked by these prominent conservatives, including Ted Cruz, who claim that Cuties is promoting pedophilia.
Because it is. Like again, I don't have to like these people that you don't like either to come to the logical conclusion that this is what this movie is doing. You are on the wrong side of history right now.
Now, according to The Verge, conservative provocateurs like Steven Crowder and conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones
you see how they're just trying to paint only conservatives as having a problem with this movie, when the ones who have a problem with this movie are just normal human beings. There is no politics involved with this. It's just a sick movie. It's a sick movie made by a sick person. And blaming the right wing for quote unquote conspiracy theory isn't doing anything. You're just showing you're just showing us that you approve of this. Because I don't get the logic of the movie denounces the hypersexualization of 11-year-old girls or just little girls, and there's so many crotch shots. I mean, please, and the camera actually zooms in on their crotches. I only know this because of the freaking commentary I did on that other dumb motherfucker. But you're seriously gonna sit there and tell me that this is okay. Because either you need new eyes or a new brain.
Dedicated videos to calling out the leftist media and that praised Cuties, writers and personalities from conservative publications like the Daily Call.
You know, I saw your video. First saw your video from Shoe on Head, or a post on Twitter from Shoe on Head. And Shoe on Head's a liberal. You're just, so please, you're trying to just paint conservatives as bad when in this case it's not working. No one likes to see, no normal human being wants to see kids do that, okay?
Caller and Breitbart also criticized the film's content. Now again, let me reiterate, the whole point of the film is...
I don't care what you think the point of the film is. I have eyes. I saw the shots. I don't care what you think. I don't care. I mean, that's like, you bring a piece of evidence to court and saying that you having the gun, you shooting someone with a gun is, you saying, well, that's why gun violence is bad. Because, see, I shot that guy, now he's dead. That is your logic right now.
Is to draw attention to condemn the hypersexualization of young girls. And that context certainly matters. But of course...
yeah, sure, fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe you. I believe that, Anna. I believe that.
Conservatives leave that context out and make it appear...
Of course! Again, it's just conservatives. like, get your head out of your ass. It's not just conservatives that don't like this movie. Stop making this political. It's just a shit movie with a shit goddamn... it's a shit movie for shitty people.
Appear as though this is nothing more than a film that's...
By the way, how about, this movie would have been better as a documentary. Like an actual documentary, of going and seeing the child beauty pageants and all this other shit, and actually talking face to face with real life kids and how they feel and how they probably just feel weird and all that shit. But no, we're having a movie that's made for profit. And the message is, we're going to hypersexualize little girls to tell you why it's bad to do that. Okay.
Just attempting to sexualize children and lure in pedophiles. That is not the case.
Yeah, you say that with that on the screen. Okay.
Now, Ted Cruz, for instance, one of the right-wingers who tweeted about this said, Netflix is trying to profit from the sexual exploitation of young children through its latest film, Cuties. That's not right. As a parent, I find it disturbing.
I don't like Ted Cruz either, like I said, but he's right on this part. He's right. What the fuck is wrong with you, Anna? Did you know that liberals and conservatives can actually agree on things for once?
Then you have another right-winger, Tulsi Gabbard, tweeting, Cuties will certainly whet the...
Tulsi Gabbard? I thought Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. I mean, I could be wrong, but, like, when I hear people talk about her, I hear that, she's actually a Democrat. Whatever.
The appetite of pedophiles and help fuel the child sex trafficking trade. 1 in 4 victims of trafficking are children. It happened to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. Netflix, you are now complicit.
And they are. That's what Netflix is Netflix and the director in France are profiting off of. Well, actually, they're losing money because, people have brains.
Hashtag cancel Netflix. She then later said that she canceled Netflix herself. But here's the problem.
No, there is no problem. Well, there is a problem, and that's this movie's existence. I'm sorry, if you wanted to make a movie about the hypersexualization of children or the abuse of children, you have to do it in a very specific way. And the way that Cuties does it is no. No, 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 no.
Most of the people who have these criticisms haven't actually watched the film. So, Cenk, let me give you a little bit of background.
Yes, yes. The majority of the people that don't want to watch children and scantily clad outfits and doing twerk moves and close-up crotch shots are the ones that have the problem. We live in a fucked up timeline right now.
And then we'll bring you in. Cuties is a French movie that critiques society's sexualization of girls. The movie follows an 11-year-old Senegalese girl living in Paris who dreams of...
Why do they have to point out that what they are? Just say 11-year-old girl.
Joining a local dance clique, she decides to protest her parents' strict household and join the other girls in dancing their way through competitions, trying to make a name for themselves.
No. As Netflix put it, it was twerking their way to stardom. Now, if they wanted to have if they wanted to dance, actually dance, then that would be fine. But twerking is it's a sexual act. There's no getting around that.
Cuties uses uncomfortable images to provoke a serious conversation about...
It used a lot of uncomfortable images, and that's why people are asking Netflix to be investigated. And that's why people have actually asked Netflix, and there were some people that that actually said, do you promote pedophilia? A yes or no answer would suffice. And Netflix responded with a non-answer. Like, oh, we respect all cultures. Like, that's not an answer. That's something you need to investigate.
About the sexualization of girls, especially regarding girls of color, the policing of girls' sexuality, double standards, the effect of social media on kids, and how children learn these behaviors. And that was actually a review written by Monica Castillo on RogerEbert.com. And so, Cenk, I want to get your thoughts on all of this.
All right. So first of all, there is no legitimate Republican Party anymore.
This has nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats. This is just about people being mad. People that doesn't matter if you're right or left. They're just mad that that this movie exists.
So if you catch any so-called reporter talking about, oh man,
thanks, Cenk. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you are just gonna write off my worries about what possibly happened to these children when they got into this movie. If there was a red flag right now, it'd be bleeding.
Mainstream Republicans. They're basically lying to you. Which mainstream Republicans? Doing what? Ted Cruz is a bastion of the Republican Party.
I don't see what Republicans have to do with any of this. I really don't. I really fucking don't.
He's a United States Senator from Texas. He's not alone. All these guys. I mean, Lara Trump, part of the Trump family.
What does this movie have to do with Trump? It's a terrible fucking movie.
Going in and campaigning with people who say 2,000 Muslims dead isn't enough, and we're looking forward to another 2,000.
What do Muslims have to do with this movie? This is bad journalism. This is bad journalism.
1,000 more. Total lunatics. So in this case, the film is against sexualizing.
Oh yes, because those pictures that Anna just showed, those pictures that Anna just showed, was completely showing us that the movie's against that. Like I said, I bring a gun to court and I shoot someone and say, like, that's why gun violence is bad, because that guy is dying from a gun. Even though I was the one who pulled the fucking trigger. Fucking idiot.
Young kids. But they don't care about what's true.
Yeah, again, you're still talking about Republicans here and not people that actually, and not just the general public that don't like it because of its message. The message is not that it's against sexualizing kids. It is very much pro-sexualizing kids.
All they care about is...
I mean, I'm sorry, seeing the cameras get close up of crotch shots. Yeah, I have an issue with that. And I think some of the people that took those shots enjoyed it. You couldn't pay me enough to be a cameraman for that movie.
This problem. They know that their lies will be aided and abetted by Fox News. Ted Cruz goes on with Maria Bartiromo. She helps him. They both pretend the movie is child porn.
Still, it basically is. It basically is. Oh, but I'm a right winger now because I say that, right? All you're doing is gaslighting. All right. I think I'm using that term correctly. You're just basically saying that Republican says this movie's bad, therefore I think it's good. That's a dumb hill to die on.
It's like one of the most outrageous accusations I've ever seen. And then they play the clip of the movie that Ted Cruz claims is child porn on the interview. So even if you believe that Ted Cruz's ideology and you thought it was child porn, well, then Maria Bartiromo and the executives at Fox News should be arrested because they just showed the same exact thing.
It's just so transparently disingenuous.
Oh, shit. I hit the mute button.
Which we'll get to in just a minute. And what's also important about that clip is it's just jarring in how transparent it is in making it about this election.
You're the one that's doing that right now. You're the one that's bringing up Republicans and Trump, and they have nothing to do with this movie. You want to talk about being disingenuous? There you go.
Right? And that's how you know they're trying to rile up QAnon conspiracy theorists, which is dangerous because these are the types of people who walk into random pizzerias in DC that they're accusing of running child sex trafficking rings with no evidence whatsoever. Someone could have gotten killed when that happened a few years ago. So there are actual ramifications and consequences to this, but they don't care. They're going to go ahead.
And you don't care. You don't care what happened to those kids. You don't. Those kids are going to grow up damaged. And just the lifeless look on your face right now just tells me that you'll use even kids for this bullshit. This is why I fucking hate politics. It's like we all just can't come together and say this is bad. No, it's always got to be the other party's fault. It's always going to be either the Democrats' fault or the Republicans' fault, or that they're offended or some shit. Like, this is why I think politics is just schoolyard nonsense.
And you do the dog whistles. They're going to rile up some of the most.
Yes. You want to mention dog whistling? Look at Cuties. Dog whistling that freaking there pedophilia there.
Hinged individuals in this country knowing full well how dangerous that could really be. And in the very, very beginning, there actually was some legitimate criticism, but
all of the criticism is legitimate. You don't have the right to say what is legitimate criticism.
It wasn't toward the film. It was toward the way Netflix was promoting the film.
Yes, and the poster was disgusting, but it was actually a lot worse than the poster.
So, for instance, if you're in France and you come across any type of promotion of the film, you might come across this movie poster, right? And so it shows the young girls.
That's not the poster you were talking about. You were talking about the original one.
They're on the street, they're dancing, they look like they're having a good time. When Netflix promoted it, they used this imagery, and they honestly
I jumped the gun.
Misrepresented what the film is really about in the text included in the tip.
No, it does not. Netflix didn't miss the point. They actually hit the field goal with this. And
in the tweet. So they said something along the lines of, Amy becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew.
That's what it is. You see it in the movie.
No, but that's not what the movie is about.
But it is. You cannot say that it's not about twerking and, see scenes in the movie where there's girls twerking. You are just denying reality right now.
And if you see that imagery and you see those words, then yeah, you're going to be super suspicious about this movie.
Yeah, and I was still suspicious.
And so there was, I think, justified criticism toward that, and Netflix apologized for it.
They apologized they got caught, let's just say. Because that's what the movie promotes. I don't know how else to tell you this, Anna, but you are just a really disingenuous person.
But it's not in any way representative of what the film is actually about. Now I want to talk about the hypocrisy, because that's the most
sure. Let's talk about the hypocrisy.
Important part of all of this. So these QAnon conspiracy theorists think that Donald Trump is the savior, that he's...
Again, what does this have to do with Donald Trump? What does the safety of children have to do with Donald Trump? Jesus fucking Christ.
The good guy who wants to do something about child trafficking. He wants to do something about pedophilia. He wants to do something about young girls being hypersexualized. Except Donald Trump has profited handsomely off of hypersexualizing young girls. And in fact, at one point, it was revealed that when he was running Miss Teen USA, he would just walk into the dressing rooms where underage girls were naked in a lot of cases.
Do you have proof of this? Because you're a news corporation. You need to show us the evidence of this. Again, I have to repeat myself. I don't like Trump, but you know what I hate more? Or should I say don't like more? Accusing something of things that they might that they might not have done. So please knock that off.
To inspect the situation. The Rolling Stone article, Trump entered the Miss Teen USA changing room where girls as young as 15 were in various states of undress. Maria Balad.
Was he caught in the room? Or did someone make that up? I mean, because I don't actually know. Because all I'm hearing from you is an unfounded claim that someone just wrote on the Rolling Stone.
Actually talked about this. She was Miss Teen Vermont in 1997, and she says, I remember putting on my dress really quick because I was like, oh my God, there's a man in here.
Oh, okay. So accidents happened? Accidents happen? That's all I got from you on that. Have you ever walked into a bathroom? Like into a bathroom? Well, actually, you haven't because you don't take the men's room. But when I walk into a men's room, sometimes I'll accidentally see a guy's junk because he didn't put it away fast enough because he thinks he's the only one there and no one's gonna come in. It's called an accident.
Miss Arizona, Tasha Dixon, also said she experienced similar behavior by Trump when she was a contestant. He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked. Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked, changing into our bikinis.
I really hope you have evidence for this, because yeah, this sounds pretty damning, but but again, you just can't say it without you just can't say it without evidence. Again, anyone can make up a claim. Anyone can.
And by the way, Trump even confessed to this in 1997.
Oh, okay. So he did confess. Well, goddamn, dude, what the fuck was wrong with you?
Let's take a listen to that.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it.
Like, what are you inspecting? But no. Yeah. The lunatics think that that's the savior who's going to...
No. Again, stop calling us lunatics because we don't like your fucking child fantasy, okay? I am so sick and tired of this. I'm being called something I'm not just because I don't like someone's child fantasy, someone's fucking sick ass fantasy.
To uncover and stop child sex trafficking in this country. And then here's Ivanka Trump at 15 this is in 1997, dressed very similar to how the girls in Cuties are dressed.
You're not proving the point. All you're doing is saying, okay, he did it too. But it's okay if Cuties does it. My brain hurts.
So if they have a problem with the way the girls are dressed in that film, I wonder if they have a problem with the way Ivanka Trump...
No. See, you're not allowed to do that, okay? You're not allowed to do that. Because, I don't like underage girls in revealing, in anything revealing. They shouldn't have that on. And just because it's a movie, it shouldn't get a pass because of what your perceived message of it is.
Was dressed in 1997.
Yeah, so some of the Miss USA pageant contestants said Donald Trump would keep asking, how hot do you think my daughter is?
Yeah, that's weird, but again, what does this have to do with Cuties? I mean, like, what the fuck does Donald Trump have to do with Cuties? If you want to have him investigated, fucking do that. Like, whatever. But it's not okay for Netflix to be profiting off this, nor is it okay for a French woman to make this.
And for the Miss Teen USA, 4 different contestants confirmed he walked in when they were half naked.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done listening to this. Because all you're doing now is just calling everyone who doesn't like this movie a right-wing lunatic. I'm sorry, I don't like seeing children sexualized in any fashion. Fiction or real. It's not my fault that you think one's okay and one is not. Seriously, people, get help.